In an age when the extraordinary was paraded as entertainment, and the unusual was often mocked or feared, one man stood beneath the circus spotlight and turned curiosity into courage. He was known as Prince Randian, or as audiences whispered the human caterpillar. A man born without arms or legs, yet filled with more strength than those who stood above him. His story is not one of tragedy, but of triumph and the unbreakable power of the human spirit. Prince Randian was born in 1871 in the lush colony of British Guiana, now modern day Guyana. From the moment he entered the world, it was clear he was different. He had no arms and no legs, a condition called tetra-amelia syndrome, but Randian's difference did not define him. His family, humble yet loving, treated him with dignity, not as a burden, but as a miracle. As he grew, Randian refused to rely on others. He learned to move independently by twisting and rolling, using his chest and shoulders. He learned to paint, shave, write, and even roll cigarettes, using only his lips and chin. Visual close-up of a boy, writing with his mouth, soft light narrator. Every small action became a victory, every movement a statement of defiance. He was not born to be pitied. He was born to inspire. In the early 1900s, word of Randian's incredible abilities spread far beyond Guyana. It eventually reached the ears of the most famous showman of the age, P.T. Barnum. Barnum's traveling shows, later known as Barnum and Bailey's Circus, were filled with wonders and oddities. And Randian, with his charm and skill, was unlike anyone the world had ever seen. Visual, circus tents rising, crowds lining up, the human caterpillar poster unveiling, and then the curtain rose. There, before the roaring crowd, lay a man with no arms, no legs, yet his eyes burned with confidence. He would take a cigarette paper, place it on a table, pick it up with his lips, roll it perfectly, slide it into his mouth, and light it using a match struck against a box he held between his shoulder and cheek. Close-up, slow-motion recreation of the act, audience gasping away from the circus lights. Prince Randian lived a quiet and fulfilling life. He married, and together they raised 4 children. He was a husband, a father, and a friend, proof that love knows no limits. He earned enough to provide for his family, built a community around him, and inspired others with his kindness. In private, he often reflected on the irony of life, how a man the world once pitied became a symbol of possibility. Visual, candlelight, family laughter, Randian smiling while painting with his mouth in 1932. Randian appeared in Todd Browning's controversial film Freaks. Though his role was brief, it was powerful. He played himself authentically, unapologetically. In the film, he performed his famous cigarette act once again, not as a sideshow attraction, but as a human being, real and raw. Close-up shot, Randian lighting a cigarette, faint smile. Prince Randian's legacy lives far beyond the circus. He became a symbol of what it means to embrace yourself fully, without shame or apology. In a time of cruelty and spectacle, he brought grace, humor, and humanity. He showed the world that physical limitation does not define your worth, your heart does. Visual, glowing text overlay redefined strength. He was called the human caterpillar. But to those who truly understood him, he was proof that even without wings, you can still fly.